The Moto America AMA.
A little bit fresh. It was a pretty easy crash for him. But this guy, Loris Baz, second in the championship. Guys behind him were starting to close down a little bit. He didn't have a very good qualifying. He's been a little bit off this weekend. Struggled a little bit yesterday in qualifying one. He was 6th yesterday morning in the very first session. He was 5th. We know this is a track that Loris Baz is really strong at. If you go back to last year's Superbike race, he was able to come here and get his one Moto America Superbike win. So definitely a track that he is
as well. It's going to be a crazy race, Greg. I think all gloves are off. This championship was decided at COTA, and now it's going to be a straight slugfest between these two manufacturers.
9 laps scheduled for Mission King of the Baggers race number 1. And here we go. Oh, and a good launch from your pole sitter, but it looks like Cameron Peterson from the middle part on the 45. He might lead us into turn number 1. No, it's got to be Hayden Gillum on the 69. Oh. He sweeps around the number 1, gets up the inside. There goes Cam P. Is he looking for some room? He does. So he passes up the inside on the number 1. Oh, man, big crash.
How about Rocco Landers as well? That's going to be Bradley Smith on the 38. High sides up over the top of turn 2. He's going to run over to his bike. Shouldn't impact the race. Just glad to see Bradley up and okay. Hayden Gillum, like you say, Greg, out front early. Cam Peterson, who's awful hungry to get a win. This team, Greg, that Cam P has been on, they have really stepped it up the last 3 or 4 rounds.
They certainly have. On the SDI Racing Indian Challenger, the team has done awesome work. And I talked to Cameron Peterson. He races in the super sport class, and he said, I'm going to tell you, I said, is it physically exhausting to rustle around a 620-pound motorcycle? He said, easy around here.
It really, yeah. Is that right?
What happened to Bradley?
That was a really strange one. Didn't it look like it was that sideways? So really strange one for Bradley. Just let's see. We'll look back a little bit further. And he kind of
contact.
No, I mean, he doesn't. Wow, that thing. I mean, it looked like he was getting close to maybe Baz or O'Hara there, but nothing really too crazy.
Right there, right?
Yeah.
Like if you get too far to the inside, it gets off camera, it gets weird. So he was just in a bad position. All right, so the number 69 of Hayden Gillum on the Revzilla Motul Vanson Hines Harley Davidson. That's a road glide. He leads the way. In second place is Cameron Peterson on the SDI Racing Indian Challenger. And, you know, that's been something of a talking point for, you know, this Mission King of the Baggers, is the fact that the starting grid, hey, there was no factory bike on the starting grid, but we have 3 up front are all on the privateer. The first factory machine we have is the number 1 of Troy Herfoss on the S&S Indian Motorcycle Challenger.
Love what I see here from Cam Peterson. He's trying to close this gap to Gillum, and along with doing that, how about the 97 of Rocco Landers? If you go back and look at that start, he was trying to roll around the outside of a bunch of people in turn 1. This young man right here has really got this thing figured out, Greg, and after that run through turn 1, he was able to turn it back up underneath Herfoss as well, I believe, as they went up over the top of turn 2. So he wants to try to go with the 2 at the front right now. Cam Peterson is going to be close enough. So much lean angle. And it looked like he's getting close enough to be able to do something down the front straightaway when they go through, after they come out of that last corner.
So Hayden Gillum leads to Cameron Peterson in second place. Let's get to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, Jamie Howe.
For Cameron Peterson, it's all about finishing the sessions between Circuit of the Americas, the last round, and then here this weekend. Those are the only 2 times all season that he's been able to finish each and every one of the sessions, and having that time on the bike has really allowed him to figure it out, feel more comfortable aboard it. Now the 2 of them are working together, and he said it's time to go and get her first race win.
Yeah, that Mission Challenge race, that 3-lap sprint race where he won that $5,000. You know, I was down there Winter Circle afterwards, and the one thing is that fans were cheering him on, but there was a lot of people in this paddock that went to Cameron Peterson because it had been such a long time since he won a race, and we're congratulating him. It was a very popular win for the South African.
Well, Cam is so likable. Anybody that's come to a race, you get a chance to talk with the 45 there, as is everybody. Hayden Gillum, same way. Just great guy. Rocco. All these guys, but when they put the helmets on, Greg, they're definitely going to be racing each other very, very hard. But for Cam Peterson, great to see him. Robert Ward's been working so hard on that bike. Jack Backen as well, down there trying to get this Indian up. Bikes are going 20s. All right, only a couple seconds difference between a full-blown bagger and a superbike. So impressive. But these 3 have broke away from everybody else. It's going to be Herfoss back there in 4th with Wyman and James Rispoli and Loris Baz. They have all kind of congregated together, and there's a big battle for 4th. As you see Rocco here, he must have had a problem because he's lost a little bit of space this time. He's Is it gonna shoot him up out of the seat a little bit? Yeah, just a little. It gets that thing all crossed up and sideways. So that's why Rocco's lost a little bit of time. He was close, Greg. He was only half a second behind Camp P the last lap by, and you can see now that gap has definitely gotten a little bit bigger.
All right, so for Hayden Gillum, having a good run at it. Had a better second half of the season as he did first half of the season. That Revzilla Motul Vance Hines Harley Davidson team really figuring out how to get this motorcycle around the racetrack in an awful hurry. But Cameron Peterson not going anywhere. Now a 1:22.565, fastest lap of the race for the number 45.
This is so fast.
So fast. Looking at Kyle Wyman, the number 33 back there. Your new national champion on that Harley Davidson Dyno Jet Factory Racing machine. And he is in a battle back there.
You're going to see a bike rake just in front of the 2 leaders here. That's going to be the factory rider of Bradley Smith. Picked that bike up and kept going. So you got to love that. And you see the right saddlebag look like it's coming loose on his bike. So Bradley's going to know these guys are coming up. He's going to let them both by. As you can see, he's just going to move out of the way for Gillum and for Camp Peterson. So,
yeah, so good job by Bradley Smith. So Gillum out front, controlling the pace, Jamie.
I was able to talk to Hayden out on the grid, and he was pretty reflective on looking ahead to these 9 laps here. And he said, you know, it's difficult, this racetrack, because it is so tight, and on this big 650-pound Harley Davidson, he said it's extremely difficult to pass. So obviously his first goal was just to stay out front and not have to worry about it. But the Indian Challenger there with Cam Peterson on board now with just 5 laps remaining, he said when those bikes get close, big battles.
Well, what's interesting about New Jersey Motorsports Park, Jason, back me up on this one, it's a wide racetrack when you're standing there looking at it,
yeah.
But there's plenty of opportunities to pass here. The problem is it can be one line, and so especially with the motorcycles these wide with bags on them, that's what limits your opportunities to pass.
Yeah, big commitment, right? So when you decide you're going to make a pass on somebody, it's going to be a big commitment. This would be one of those spots in between turn 4 and 5. If that door gets open too much, you could try to get down the inside. The other place obviously is going to be coming out of that last corner, being able to draft down that front straightaway and pull out going into turn 1 as we get a look at Rocco Landers here a little further back. He's at a 23.2 that last time by, Greg, so he's losing about 0.6 of a second on the guys in front of him. But for Rocco, you know, we saw him get shot up out of the seat, and he wants to get 2 of these Vance & Hines Harley Davidsons, you know, on the podium for Terry.
Cameron Peterson not giving anything away. Now in sector 2 between the front runners, Hayden Gillum and Cameron Peterson. Both have set their personal best sector 2 splits. And so for Cameron Peterson, who is trying to close the gap, Hayden Gillum is answering behind him. On to the front straightaway we go again. Now a look at the lap times as Gillum extends his lead now to 0.3 of a second. And so 1:22.7 to 1:22.6, just 1/10 of a second each off of their fastest lap of the race so far. Now with less than 3 to go.
They're just so evenly matched. You know, when you look at this 22.6 to 22.7 and you look at the splits are nearly identical. And it's like, but there's places that Cam looks better, and then there's just places where Hayden looks better. So again, it's that accordion effect that we see so many times. And you see Cam get a big wheelie up a wheelie hill there. Nothing like slamming 600 pounds back to the ground there, Greg. So TV does it.
No, it doesn't. And if you're SDI Racing right now, the Indian Challenger of Cameron Peterson, how much are you thinking, I wish the season started right now?
Yeah,
this
no
team
question.
has just really picked it up. And Jay, there were opportunities when things looked so bleak from our perspective outside looking in, that if they had packed up their tents and gone home and some reset for next season, I would have said, you could see him closing up there, but Jason talked about, is that accordion effect? Where is Cameron Peterson going to try to attack Hayden Gillum? He just doesn't look vulnerable anywhere.
He's definitely closer.
Yeah.
And, you know, they've got some great guys working on that bike. They got great people down there working with Cam, and they got the right rider on the board. So let's see if he opens up the door here. Let's see. See, Hayden? That's racecraft right there. He knows that Cam's back there. He's not going to give him a chance to sneak down the inside of turn 5. So for Cam P, I think what he's got to really do, he's got to be close enough to Hayden when they come out of turn 10, and then he's got to be able to draft that Harley down the front straightaway and pull out into turn 1 and make that pass. I think he's going to have to try to lead the last lap himself on that 45 to win this race.
Hayden Gillum out of Owensboro, Kentucky on that Revzilla Motul Vance & Hines Harley Davidson. That's Road Glide. trying to hold off the advances of Cameron Peterson, who lives in Corona, California, the South African.
Look how much he pulled away mid-corner just there. See that pull away that Hayden has?
Yep.
So he pulled enough away to where it's going to make it very difficult for Cam Peterson to do something down into turn one. As they go through this fast last corner, Hayden's got just big enough of a gap to where Cam's not going to be close enough to him to outbreak him down into turn one. So he's just going to have to follow him. And you already got an idea of what Hayden's thinking when they get into turn 5. He's thinking, I'm closing the door again. There's no way you're going up underneath me there, because look how fast Cam is through the first 2 corners.
The SCI Racing Indian Challenger turns so good in those first couple of corners, but it's when Hayden Gillum gets to the second half of the lap. So even with that in his back pocket, if Cam Peterson gets close enough to attack him, he's got to do it soon, because Gillum is so good through the final corners of the racetrack.
Yep.
And there he goes again, tight line for the 69.
Absolutely. So these are guys that, you know, it's funny, Greg, because I can't remember the last time I really saw these two racing against each other. And so for both of them, they want to get this win for their teams. And for Cam Peterson, this is definitely an upsurge for him on this bike and this team. And it would be great to see them in the podium, in the winner's circle again. And it just depends on what place it's going to be. Is it going to be first or second? I just think that from this point, this is where the Vance and Hines Harley just corners this left a little better. And see that gap?
Right there. Yep.
It just pulls away so much right in the middle of that turn. And it looks like it's Hayden Gillum's race to lose at this point.
A left and a right onto the front straightaway in the 69, and the fast turn 12 comes on there. And no, he gets a little sideways again. And he's got to be able to hold him off, though, and it will take victory in a heart stopper for a moment by 0.2 of a second for the Revzilla Vance and Hines Motul Harley Davidson. And second place goes to Cam Peterson, third to Rocco Landers. This is the battle for 7th place between Herfoss and Jake Lewis.
But Herfoss had some problems.
Yeah, he definitely had some issues. But Cameron Peterson tried everything he could, including the fastest lap of the race on lap number 4, 122.565. But this is Gillum. He's done this before, by the way, here in New Jersey.
The front, loses the rear.
Whoa,
I said it was Hayden Gillum's race to lose. And look at him, he's like, what just happened?
What did I do again?
Yeah, he hasn't even got checkered yet, and he's already thinking, okay, let me process this.
Did he do that last year on a stock 1000 bike?
Stock 1000, you remember he ran off and got that huge tank slapper. And yeah, he actually, I remember Uribe going by him, and then he won the race in that last corner last year on stock 1000.
But credit to him,
yes.
The 69. It was that last sector. He was so fast through that last sector that he was able to get just enough of a gap with that mistake, or that issue, I should say, for Gillum to hold off Cam P by 0.2 of a second. And the race pace, you can see for Hayden Gillum, his fastest lap of the race was at 122.689 on lap number 3. And right after that, it was Peterson setting the fastest lap of the race. So Hayden Gillum holds on for the big win with our penultimate race of the year. We'll talk